guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Play Cities Skylines, a modded series. This is the river run map that we're playing on NEZO City. Go over what we did last time. We started mapping the area or the layout for the second tile on the top left hand side. We added some buildings to bolster or make the Melissa Nelson district grow. And then we played a little bit with the interchange. I believe we removed some stuff from the top left hand corner. I may have to revisit that and do that again. So for this, and we also did an interchange. So for this episode, I believe we ran out of power in the previous episode. So we might boost up our energy, maybe with a solar updraft tower or something else that's green. And then I don't really like this area that I started zoning or planning out, so I'm gonna redo that. And here is our elder care center. I forget which DLC it's part of, but it's pretty cool. We have a child care center in the other district, and then we have the community pool. I think it's the same DLC, and our elusive dog parks, which will litter the entire city, literally. And then we have a bunch of well-placed pathways for the citizens to walk. This is the Melissa Nelson district. I believe this was our second area that we have high density areas. So we're gonna work on this here. It doesn't look good. I tried to make it organic looking, but it's too randomized. I want to make it more uniform. So without further ado, let's begin. So we're going to start with this interchange. Well, not an interchange, but this area where it crosses over from the top side of the tile to the bottom side of the tile. I didn't like how the curve looked, so we're going to remove some roads and make the underground tunnel, because I believe it would look much better to have something that's underneath this road. And then discover another way to link the avenue and the road that encompasses this part of the map. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm trying to make it look nice, curvy. Now we're working on this organically inspired section. So we planned with dirt roads because they're cheap to maintain. I never paused the game. I should probably put it in the description that this is the kind of gameplay I'm doing. Don't pause the game because I feel it's more realistic in real life. You don't really pause life to build something. You just put a under construction thing and continue to work, and that's what I've been doing. So no pause. I'm only on the normal speed. It's kind of funny when I looked at my channel, I'm doing normal speed gameplay but a lot of time lapses. Hopefully it balances out. Oops, I deleted something by mistake. Anyway, this is what we're doing. gonna redo this area. Alright, if you want to pause the video and know the little measurements, this is 220 down and or 220 length, and the width is 440. It leaves a square gap, one square gap, so that you can put an avenue if you wanted, or some larger type road that's larger than 2 lengths width. So it's perfect for spacing avenues or spacing, well, more for spacing pedestrian pathways, which I want to do for this entire city. Decided to make this into an interesting overpass, curvy overpass, so that it doesn't beat on traffic. I noticed there's four-way intersections I want to get rid of. Tried to do some creative way to keep that out, trying to make sure we have perfect road hierarchy. You'll have that bottom road is the arterial road. Then we have the collector road, which is the avenue on the left. It will collect all the local traffic. Obviously, the next part is the dirt roads, or the two-way roads, or the local roads. So this should help with traffic if designed correctly. But sometimes if it's too crowded or there are too many slow-moving cars, it will, of course, it would make things slow down to a halt. Also, if pedestrians are crossing a lot, one way to combat that is, or correct that, is to make more pedestrian pathways or alternate ways of crossing the street. These are all the services that I plopped down before we start zoning. We got we're doing education now. I was thinking about putting a university nearby, but it's kind of big and we only have one that has a capacity of 4,000. We're not even near that. So I put the services down: the healthcare service, the police department, fire department, and I'm forgetting one. They didn't put a post office nearby because that has noise, but I'll probably put in one of the avenues maybe later on. So I plot these down and disable them until I'm ready to zone. That way I'm not losing a lot of money. But education here is important for high density areas. So in the previous episode, you know my death cares in the red. Previous episode, I discussed about making an entire section devoted to graveyards. So this whole area is full of graveyards. Probably gonna make it up to 4. Eventually, at 18,000 population, we're gonna unlock the ability to have crematoriums, which frees up a lot of space because I'm gonna empty out the graveyards and only keep 1 or 2 to offset the load when there's a death wave. But I definitely won't have this many graveyards around, and I'll reclaim it for some zonable space. So that's why we're putting it as much as we need to be slightly blue, but definitely not red, because that's not good if we don't have enough space for the bodies. There we go. People are happy. I believe I started unlocking these services. That was the hospital, I think. And I think it looks pretty good. Let me know in the comments if you like what I've done here, or if you have anything you want to share with your layout. Feel free to do so. I like to spread the wealth, or not the wealth. I don't earn that much, but I mean viewership or the support. Support is better word to say, as it encompasses everything. Yeah, I support you guys. So if you want to leave a comment or share a video, you can. I'm not too gung-ho about that. Here we go. We get the second updraft solar updraft tower that's operating at 80%, or is it 50%? I think 80%. Now we push this university campus area a bit further down. I might relocate this area because it's getting smaller, and once we unlock the ability to do the campus, which is, I think it's also under at 18,000, excuse me, will need a lot of space. So this hill served its purpose for the wind turbines, but now I think it needs to be something else. We might reclaim this space for some sort of industrial thing, to be honest. So we added 2 things I said I didn't like to put in a map. The first thing we did is underground pathways, and then, first thing we did was roundabouts. The second thing is underground pathways. This happens to be a roundabout. So there was a lot of traffic. I noticed a lot of red in this 3-way intersection, because this is the avenue that goes into a collector road, and it's right near a bunch of commercial area, and it's the only way to back and forth to the highway. That's why I was planning to correct that interchange on the other side. Since this is a 6-lane road going into this roundabout, I decided to make it a 3-lane highway road. It makes more sense doing that. So let's see. I believe it works out better that way. The lane map, because for 6 roads, you have 3 on one side, 3 on the other. So yeah, let's see if this solves the traffic. There we go, that's what it looks like. It's a lot less congestion. So it apparently works. I'm trying to decorate. I don't know why I'm putting a statue in the middle of a roundabout. It's probably a recipe for disaster. Cause accidents because people are going to want to look. And pedestrians are probably going to want to cross the roundabout, hopefully safely. There's no crossing area here, so that's good. It's probably not safe to put something distracting in the middle. I believe I put a bunch of rocks and then a big tree here. Let's see, trying to decorate it, make it look better. Which tree should we put? It's definitely too big. Also another distraction. But it'll probably be good for like Christmas to decorate. I think we ended up with this willow tree, with weeping willow, and a couple of bushes on the side. It looks way too uniform, like it's man-made. It's not natural. I have trouble randomizing objects, so I like putting things in a row. One of those organizer guys. But yeah, I think that looks good. I had trouble figuring out how to add bus stops, so I got confused. There's a lot of spaghetti. So we're gonna redo this Nelson South bus line. But first we gotta delete all the previous lines so that I could see better. And it happens to be pink, so we'll probably keep it like that. Here we go. Our favorite activity is creating interchanges. We're probably gonna create a lot of interchanges during this whole map playthrough or series. But this one was kind of challenging. I want to make it functional as well as look good on a retry making a trumpet interchange. And it's probably not gonna end up being an official trumpet interchange that somebody on my Reddit pointed out. I do post on Reddit. I don't advertise that I do, but I started posting in the Cities Skylines community, just asking for help. Because there's, I believe Reddit's a good resource. There's just a lot of people that use it. But hopefully we can make this look good. here we go. I have a lot of trouble making sure this avenue, major avenue, that links the top half or the top part of the tile with the second tile. I had trouble making it look uniform and fit into that area where we start the interchange, but eventually I figured it out. We have to reach a milestone without even doing anything. So our oil industry went up another level. I believe there's 5 levels for this industry stuff. That way you can only get that from the industry's DLC. So we're gonna work on that oil thing maybe later on. So our interchange is looking good. Trying to figure out how to make this a bit better. So I only have space for one side. Kind of curious how to make the other side work. This should be fine. So when I'm looking at interchanges or trumpet interchanges, I notice there's a second semicircle that follows the other circle that links the top half of the map, or the top part of the highway to the bottom part of the highway to the regular avenues. And I tried to mimic that. I know this looks like a sharp curve, but eventually make it look better. This is a pretty tight space, and I decided to make it an underground tunnel to link both sides. Kind of looks good. Okay, see how it fares when the traffic starts going. I don't like that little bend right there, but it was the only way I could make this space. Probably gonna curve it a little bit. I like curves. And the bottom half of that off-ramp from the highway kind of looks like I'm wasting space. I might change that to maybe in a later episode, but I'm kind of approaching my 1 hour mark, so I don't think I do it in this playthrough, this episode. Right, there's traffic everywhere. I think I need a way to have that avenue right where the collector road spread out its traffic a bit more. I think that's why it's red. And that interchange kind of looks wonky, so I might redo that in a future episode. And I can see that left-hand intersection with the collector roads is going to be a problem. That might be a roundabout, but I don't really decide. I'm just looking at what the future is going to be. Okay, it's starting to look green, starting to get greener. And the new interchange is hardly being used, which means there's not that much traffic that needs to use it. I think it's because it's in that long road where no houses or anything is on. The trucks are the only thing that are using it, I believe. So yeah, it's looking good so far. Our education. So the colleges or universities take a while to be educated. That's why it's not blue. The citizens have to go to elementary school and high school and college, like in real life. So that takes some time. Here we are looking at our bus lines. So Melissa Nelson, or the Nelson South, is the most used one. So our happiness looks pretty good. A lot of people are happy. Because by Cities Skylines standards, I think this city's doing well. It's got some good money going in. We just need more educated people for the fifth, what do you call it? Fifth upgrade, which has more people. Anyway, I'm approaching my 1 hour mark. There are a few things that we can still work on, but we're probably gonna close it off in a little bit. Anyway, that is all the time we have. Thank you guys for joining. This is John Nezodam. We're playing Cities Skylines, a mod series. And this is the River Run map, and we're playing on the Nezodam city. Like always, if you like the channel or like what you see, feel free to subscribe. Please consider subscribing, like, follow, comment, and ding that bell, and I'll see you in 3 days. This is John Nezodam signing out. Take care, and as always, you are essential.